That control box will have to be moved out a bit to get the cover on. I think I'm going to make the cover in two halves, so that one half goes on that way and the other half from the other side. You need to get to this adjusting wheel, so the cover will go down there. Two bolts here hold the pump to the frame. There's two on the other side, identical. So if I make the cover about this wide, probably about 40 mil from there, then it's going to drop down, just cover that base at the bottom, be close to this nut. Same on the other side. In the workshop, just starting to make the stainless steel housing for the yoghurt pump. The housing will be made in two halves. There's going to be an air vent here. Those will be flared out. This is the other half. So they're nearly ready for bending into shape. And then there'll be a third panel which sits on the top. This fits around the pump housing, and this fits around the motor, and this is where the adjusting wheel spindle fits through. I've got the housing panels bent into shape. That's the top panel. That'll be welded on the corners, and that will sit on the top. I'm just starting to flare these slots out for the ventilation. I've made a little jig here to do that. So I've got this jig clamped on the top and an identical one underneath. And then with this drift, I just drift the edges down. So the top half, the edges will be done from the inside. And I'll turn it over and then punch the bottom edges from the outside. That's the slots flared out from the inside. So now I'll turn it over and flare it from the other side. Got all the sections cut to make the frame. This is 40mm box section with a 2mm wall thickness. box section will form the outer part of the frame. 40 by 40 angle. The gearbox will be bolted through that. Spacers, they fit inside the box section, so that one will go in there. It'll be welded around the edge of the hole, and the wheel will be bolted to that. There'll be a 12mm bolt passing through there to hold the wheel on. So that spacer stops the box section from squeezing when the bolt's tightened, and also seals the hole, stops any milk or anything getting inside the box section. End plates, they'll be welded on the end to seal the ends. These two holes here and these two, there'll be some brackets bolted through there to mount the control box on. Again, there'll be spacers inside there. So our next job is to get those welded up. That's the frame fully welded. This is where the base of the drive unit will be bolted onto. There'll be 4 holes drilled in here. That's the spacers welded inside the box section. These two and these two are for the brackets for the control box. That's where the casters bolt on. I'll be polishing all the welds up. I've just got to weld on 6 fixing lugs to fix the stainless steel housing on. So the wheels, they'll bolt underneath there with a 12mm bolt. That's the 6 lugs welded onto the frame to bolt the housing panels onto. They're drilled and threaded, M6. Also got the panels drilled. Some of these have got plates on the back and they're threaded M5, making the brackets to mount the control box on. These are made out of stainless steel, 3mm thick. They'll be drilled at the bottom end. There'll be a right angle bend at the top. I'll polish them first, be easier before I bend them. Also made 4 discs to mount on top of the casters. They're 3mm thick. Brackets are made. They will be drilled on the top here, but that'll be done on site. Also had to make 4 little spacers. They're 8mm thick that way. In the underside of the caster there's a recess, so the spacer fits in there, and when the bolt comes through, the nut will fit above the spacer. If the spacer wasn't there, the nut would end up in that recess and you wouldn't get the spanner on it. That's the frame polished up and the wheels on. That's the housing complete. Control box sits on there. And then the spindle with the adjusting wheel comes through there. I'll take this to the dairy tomorrow